Hello and welcome. Would you like to worry less about what you should wear, whether or not it's on trend, and instead feel like you are wearing what enables you to move through your days exuding confidence and self-assurance, like your outer expression aligns with your inner essence, and have people compliment you regularly on your outfit, even if it's not so-called on trend? Now, I'm a passionate creator and coach, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can create a capsule wardrobe that suits your unique style and lifestyle. I have mastered this art over my adult life and have often been stopped by strangers in the street, just as I'm out and about going about my day, just because they feel compelled to compliment me on something I am wearing or my entire outfit. As a creative professional, it has been my quest to connect to my inner essence and let that be my outer expression, rather than try to fit into molds that were not designed for me. It was not my quest to have people stop me in the street, but that seems to have been a flow-on effect of me just exuding confidence and stepping out into my days effortlessly. I have established and run businesses both online and through physical bricks and mortar spaces for the last 25 years as a creative professional. And I've been designing and making my own clothes since I was in primary school. My first business was as a portrait photographer, and I started that business because I was also taking photos from a very young age, and I could see what it was that made people uncomfortable in front of the camera, and I really wanted to help them be at ease and be captured in their beauty. I felt uncomfortable in front of a camera, which is what made me such a great portrait photographer. But I transitioned out of that business with children in tow so that I could actually work on an artisanal brand that enabled me to work more from home. And I handcrafted items that added magic to our everyday living experiences. Even though in the early years of that business, I was not making garments to sell. I did, however, have a mannequin on my market stall which showcased my handcrafted bags in situ with an outfit, and was often asked if the outfit was for sale or if what I was wearing I would make to order. So when I opened up a retail store and creative co-working space 9 years ago, I introduced garments as a part of my range. And a lot of the designs I was making and selling were designs that were staples in my wardrobe that I had been wearing for over 15 years, and still received compliments and requests to make them for others. My focus was on quality over quantity, effortless designs that could be layered and enjoyed all year round. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the key elements I found helpful in building a capsule wardrobe based on my unique physique, style and lifestyle, so that you too can create your own capsule wardrobe to support your style and lifestyle. Which is important. You don't want to feel restricted in what you are doing. You want to feel effortless. And that's the first key point we're going to cover. Effortless designs. Choosing designs that make you feel good, not just look good. Looking good is a part of it, of course, but you want to feel good as well. The other key element we're going to cover is the quality of fabric, the frequency of fiber. Have you ever even considered that there is a frequency in the fiber that you are wearing? I know I didn't for a long time. And then I'm going to look at transitional pieces, layerable items. These are three key elements we're going to cover in this video, but there's so much more to this that you can learn, and there are other ways of doing that too. So first of all, let's look at the effortless design element. Shapes that don't make you feel like you are suffocating or having to hold your breath all day. Especially as a female, when we go through our 28-day cycle, there are times in our cycle where we just want to be able to feel like we can relax our core and sit into our being and not be constantly holding ourselves tightly. The importance of breath actually going through our system is critical for our well-being. Now, I have been a yogi for many, many years, and I realized after many years of doing yoga that I wasn't actually breathing properly because I was trying so hard to hold my core in, and at times of my cycle, that was actually not supportive to my well-being. Throughout the day, I was holding my breath to keep in my core because that was the shape I was looking for. Now, I'm not saying you should just let yourself go. What I'm saying is there are times in your cycle where that is hard to do. So wearing effortless designs that allow you to relax in those time periods where your core is a little looser and needs to be able to expand, it's about fostering that comfort and that even ability to nurture yourself in that time period. And choosing fabrics that drape and caress the body, not cling. Loose fitting but still flattering. Things like a long vest or even a short vest, things that enable you to reach up and get what you need to get. Having a shop, I was constantly up and down a ladder, and I actually had outdoor plants on a veranda that I was watering and climbing up and down a ladder. Even when I had a market stall, setting up my market stalls, I can't tell you how many things I ripped originally with having something restricting that I was wearing and then trying to put something up high in the marquee. So that's why I started wearing vests, and I made a fur kangaroo vest to keep me warm, but rather than a coat that was restricting, but I was still able to reach up. So choosing things that enable you to move through your day and do what you need to. Another thing about lifestyle is if your lifestyle is one that is active, but you also need to have a professional presence, which is how my lifestyle operates, I can go from unloading wood in the morning to sitting down in the afternoon with a coaching client. And I don't have time to go changing an outfit to be able to support those two different activities. So I actually choose to wear layers that enable me to take the layers off as I need to, and layers and fabrics that breathe, and then I can put the layers back on that add all the little elements and details that align with my professional presence, and then sit down in front of a computer or even in person for a meeting and feel like I'm at my best. Including in your wardrobe items that you can wear either with jeans or with a skirt, like tops that work in both scenarios. It's not about having lots of different tops and each top being for a different purpose. It's being able to use them in different circumstances. That versatility is a really key element to a wardrobe that enables you to move effortlessly through your day and take the chore out of trying to decide what to wear that day. As a busy mum, I did not have time in the morning to try and work out whether or not I should wear this colour or that colour and whether or not they go or these layers actually work together. It's the curation of a wardrobe that enables you to just quickly go to your wardrobe, make an intuitive decision based on what you've got going on that day and what the weather is like, whether or not to add extra layers or have less layers and what fabric. And it's not even trying to decide whether or not that fabric works for you in certain conditions. It's having a wardrobe that you know supports you all year round and in multiple different scenarios, and then just being able to whip it up and put it together. By having designs that also work together and colours that work together with your skin tones as well as each other. That is the first step to curating a wardrobe that filled with effortless designs, colours and fabrics that support your well-being. Now, let's talk about fabric. That's our second point, the quality of fabric. I am very much a natural fibres person. I go by the 80-20 rule, where 80% of my wardrobe is made up of natural fibres and 20%, yes, unnatural fibres, because I have to admit, I prefer a pair of jeans that have some stretch to them. That suits my lifestyle, climbing in and out of the back of a ute or unloading wood or even unpacking a market stall. Even in the shop, there were so many reasons to be wearing jeans that have more flexibility to them. So I still do have unnatural fibres in that regard. And even in my active wear, like some items actually require a little bit more give in them. So that's why I like to use the 80-20 rule. When I talk about the 80-20 rule, in business, the 80-20 is the opposite way around. It's using 20%, or it's looking at the 20% of what you do that brings in 80% of your revenue. So you're actually focused on doing less work and gaining more from that. Whereas in this regard, I'm talking about it in terms of 80% being natural fibres and 20% being unnatural fibres. I don't want to mislead people in saying that I am completely all natural fibres, because in honesty, I'm not. But I do believe that having a wardrobe that is made up more of natural fibres is supportive to our well-being and also supportive to our environment. For me, that comes into play. But for that effortlessness, if you can choose garments that are fabrics that allow for breathability as well as maneuverability, then that's where you're going to find that most supportive. You can wear them transseasonally. Linens and fine merinos you can wear all year round if you can handle wool over summer. I'm a little sensitive to wool. I do find even superfine merinos with a little bit of humidity in the air and warmth, I do find them itchy, even the superfine merinos. For winter, it's about wearing lightweight and warm fabrics, not being bulked up so that you can't move around. At the moment, I have a cotton long vest on, but underneath it, I have a superfine merino vest that is the same shape and they're both light, but together they make that little bit of extra warmth and I still have the mobility that I need. As I've already said, there's thermal regulating qualities in linens and fine merinos, and they're breathable, but they're also antibacterial, which is why having natural fibres works in your favour. Yes, it's going to be an investment buying high quality fabrics and designs that are made that you can wear all year round. But the fact is you can wear them all year round and for years to come. Now, I touched on the frequency of fibre earlier. Have you ever considered that there is a frequency to the fibre that you're wearing? I know for many years I did not. I was wearing fabric that felt good for me and that felt good on me. And then later on I discovered that there was a frequency to the fabric, and that's part of the reason why it made me feel good to wear them. I do have a video on that I'll put a link in for on the frequency of fibre itself. It goes into more details about that. Now, to actually support you in feeling empowered in moving through your days effortlessly, I have put together an Empower Dressing Guidebook. It takes you through the process of culling and curating, refining your existing wardrobe to create a foundation to then build from, selecting styles to suit your physique and to support your energy, and also how to care and repair for the garments that you have so that you get more use out of them. It also gives you some insights into brand awareness and recommendations with a list of brands and links to those brands so you can build a wardrobe that will last you for years, among other things. There's a lot in that guidebook. There's a link to that in the show notes. I highly recommend that you consider buying that if you really want to build a wardrobe that supports your well-being and moving effortlessly through your days. So the third key point I wanted to cover today is actually having that trans-seasonal wear and layerables, things that you can wear all year round. Linen is a fabric that you can wear all year round, and the design of your garment is going to enable you to wear it all year round. I have linen singlets and blouses that I often layer with fine merino or organic cotton long sleeve t-shirts over winter or in those transseasonal periods between summer and autumn or at the end of winter coming into spring where you're not really feeling super cold or super hot. Being able to layer those items makes a really big difference. And also wearing things like cardigans and vests, cardigans under vests, and then scarves to keep you warm enable you to take layers on and off when you're going in and out of those super hot rooms or out into the cold fresh air, and you can put a vest underneath a coat and then pull the coat off, and if you need to, you've got a cardigan underneath the vest. So you're not actually pulling things off the top of your head all of the time in order to find a comfortable temperature for yourself. I also find open necklines on my t-shirts and long sleeve tees to be helpful because then I can always add a linen scarf which doesn't get too hot but still keeps me warm. Add a linen scarf and a coat, but then when I walk into a room that's quite warm, I can take off those layers and I've got an open neckline to enable me to feel like I'm able to breathe again and not suffocate. And having dresses that enable you to wear them on their own over summer and then over those cooler seasons, adding leggings and a long sleeve tee, and you are set to go to be warm and still comfortable. And then on top of that, a poncho. A poncho and a wrap is an essential item in my mind, especially if you're wearing something that's not easy to put a coat over. I particularly like ponchos at different weights. So I have one that's organic cotton, I have one that is linen, and then another one which is an alpaca, a heavier fleece. And they not only keep you warm, but you don't need to worry about having the sleeves on your garment be able to fit into a coat in order to be able to stay warm. So these are essential little items that I think make it easy to create a wardrobe that supports you all year round, considering whether or not it is layerable, because if it has to be worn only one particular way, then it's not terribly versatile. I have shared more tips and tricks in a series of short clips, which I've now created a playlist for called Empower Dressing Tips, and I'll put a link to that video to that playlist so you can access those, because it goes through things like how to carry your phone easily when you don't have pockets, and how to tie your strappy shoes so that you can move through your day more empowered rather than feel like your strap's falling around your ankles while you're racing around in your day. How to dry your linens in a way that means you don't need to iron them. Plus, there's more other supportive material that you'll find in the Empower Dressing Guidebook. I will also include a link to that in the description. The intention behind this is to enable you to curate a wardrobe that fosters effortless flow of energy and move through your days with confidence and ease and grace. As a coach, I also offer the service of embodiment coaching, one-to-one, which I do in a 3-month container that enables you to connect to your inner essence and have that be your outer expression, not just in what you wear, but actually how you show up in your interactions on a day-to-day basis, building your confidence on how you contribute your unique thread to the collective tapestry. So there's also a link to that in the description, because I'd love to support more of you in contributing your unique gifts to the collective, because that's what you're here to do. So I hope today's video helped you with some ideas on how to curate your wardrobe in a way that enables you to move through your days more effortlessly, because artisanal living is about immersing ourselves in the magic of our existence, not getting caught up in all of the things that we are not.